Two Queers and a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is, or anybody, everybody. It is Christian Gersemi, and it is Two Queers in a Truck time, and it's September 10th. Woo. I mean, it has gone by fast, but we are well into my birthday month. In fact, next week, if you're watching this show, next week is my birthday, September 17th. So we are rocking it out. And I will be a year older. I'll be 39 again. I can't use 29 again because nobody's going to believe that. Plus I have a much younger wife that looks 29, so I can't. Definitely nobody believes that we're the same age. So I have to use 39 now. I have to be Jack Benny now. For anybody that's old enough to know who the fuck Jack Benny is. But we'll jump right into it. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what we talked about last week, including Governor Newsom and the blue governors and how they're going on the offensive, whether it's the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Minnesota that was Harris's running mate. They're all amping it up because they realize their states are going to have to turn the corner for the country next year, specifically in the midterms. And these governors know what they say now between September and when people start registering to run for national office in December. This is recruitment time. This is honestly audition time to convince qualified candidates to run and to jump into the arena in 2026. It's also a time that if you think you are going to run for president in 2028 as a Democrat, this is also audition time. This is setting the stage to put yourself on the national stage, which brings me to our governor here in California, Governor Newsom. And he's doing the things necessary to position himself as a national leader, taking on Heir Trump, dear leader. And as the head of the Nazi Republican Party, Donald Trump is painting himself into a corner, and Newsom is painting him the rest of the way into that corner and painting him as exactly who he is, a big fat baboon, and demonizing him the way he demonizes people, and also making fun of him by talking like him, using terms and going on these almost like these rage tweets, but they're funny as shit. The graphics that his staff is using, where they got Governor Newsom way taller than Trump. They got Governor Newsom with this like 8-pack, and looks like this Hollywood celebrity, which he is a pretty good looking guy. He's way better looking than Trump. And Trump looking like Humpty Dumpty, basically, which is pretty much what Trump looks like. I mean, it's not inaccurate. It's not a lie. It's the cheeseburger Buddha looks the way he looks. Like, he looks rough. I mean, everybody's pointing out his hand, and hope, people are rooting for the blood clots, and they're coming for this guy, and and not in a good way, is that they are Newsom's staff and Newsom's team has definitely recognized the opportunity to be aggressive the way Democrats have needed to be for a long time, ever since Obama. We saw a little bit of it with Joe in 2020, and he gave all he got. But my God, we asked an 80-plus-year-old man to rally us in 2024, and it's just too much. And we didn't recognize that we needed to fill the void and start positioning our party for the next steps, which was one was defeat Trump, but step two was to win 2024 by putting somebody in place and setting them up for success, which we did not do. We set our party up for failure. And the tea leaves started in 2022, and that's why midterms this time around is just as important. We have to be thinking 2 elections ahead, 2026, 2028. That's what Republicans do. And it's why they're so much successful, even though they're half the size of a party. They're successful in rallying people around central themes and fighting the fight. They fight. They actually put up a fucking fight. Democrats didn't put up a fight last year. It was pathetic what we did. We are the party of fucking losers. The fact that we can't beat that fat invalid slob in only 1 out of 3 elections, that cheeseburger mountain that probably smells like poop and Republican tears. Or in South Park, J.D. Vance, he tells J.D. Vance to oil up Satan's butthole.
That's such classic.
Which is probably not too far off the truth.
Hey, did you notice that J.D. Vance never said that's disgusting?
Oh no, it's probably his fantasy. I mean,
he went.
I'm sure Satan lives in Lincoln's bedroom. I mean, I'm sure that when Trump does go to sleep at night, he's snuggling with Satan. And I love the fact they make Satan like this really huge, sensitive guy.
Yeah.
And Trump looks like this little urchin that's always named extraordinarily small penis.
Yeah, it's micro penis.
It looks like another belly button. Which most dictators do have micro penises. I mean, that's why they're so angry in the first place. And then it's usually why they've got to pay for sex. A big Walter, a big Weasel's usually the 2 reasons why. And we all know that we've seen Trump's hands as he's we all know he ain't packing unless he owns a gun and has a concealed gun license. He's never been packing in his life. But he's had plenty of money. But it's great. I mean, between South Park and Governor Newsom and everybody else, and the governor of Minnesota is going on the attack, and Governor Tim and J.B. Pritzker and in Illinois is getting aggressive, and you're seeing what's setting up to be a very concerted effort by Democrats. Now, will we sustain? Will we fade? I don't know. I don't have any faith in the Democrat Party per se. I just know that I live in a very safe state and that we're very dominant out here, and we will continue to be very dominant in California, Washington State, and Oregon, that we are the West Coast tower of power. We clearly are showing up the East Coast, which, the supposed East Coast elites are not very elite. They're the Eastern Seaboard, where the Democrat territory started up, have failed forward miserably. North Carolina Democrat. And Republicans should have never held on to power in North Carolina. They should have been booted out when Governor Cooper won, and there should have been a huge Democrat revolution or renaissance. And Democrats in that state just abdicated. I don't know what happened between 2016's wins and 2020's wins. Between 2020 and 2024, Democrats nationally, but also in North Carolina, and I'm not going to say nationally because there were some states where Democrats were very successful. North Carolina just wasn't one of them. North Carolina Democrats shit the bed. They did the opposite. We panicked over trans people. We gave up everything. We didn't even try to win local elections like state house and stuff like that. We concentrated only on the cities. We there was no leadership, and there's still no leadership in the Democrat Party in North Carolina. The new state chairperson is just as bad as the old one. And with that being said, we're up against our first break, and we'll start back on that with some more messages from Two Queers in a Truck. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in a Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye, boo. Happy ride.
Hi everybody, this is Gersemi from the Americo show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA, go to your nearest homeless shelter, go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normity, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Gersemi again from the Americo, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
But it stops and starts with leadership. North Carolina has fell into the same disease that Texas Democrats, which Texas Democrats are a joke. They gave up a long time ago. And North Carolina Democrats are right there. They've gone lock and step, goose stepping down the boulevard of idiocy and idiot politics and started agreeing with Republicans and voting Republicans because they're cowards. North Carolina Democrats are cowards. We keep putting cowards in office. And because that is a losing fucking strategy. You want to know how to lose? It goes back to the old German saying, 11 Nazis are sitting at a table. A 12th person sits down. What are they? 12. There's a 12th Nazi. When you vote like a Nazi Republican and you act like a Nazi Republican, you are a Nazi Republican. You ain't a Democrat anymore. It's that fucking simple. And if you're that fucking stupid, good luck. North Carolina is going to stay red for a long, long time. And y'all won't re-elect your governor in 2028. You will get blasted out of there. They will run somebody good in 2028. If you keep letting them run roughshod over you, just be assured it'll be just like Texas. This current Republican or Democrat governor will be the last one for a long time. If you let them. Florida used to be a toss-up state. It's now a red state. It's a solidly red state. Despite the very narrow margins And Democrats actually have more registered voters than Republicans do in Florida. But Democrats have become cowards and they've mailed it in there too. We should be winning states like Florida, Texas, and North Carolina, but we just ain't. And the East and the South have just shit the bed. And the West has flourished. And that's why the Western states are money-making states. They're also why they're really nice places to live. I don't give a shit what the press says. I'm out here in the West, and it's nice. It's nice. You guys are driving a 1982 Corolla, and we're in a brand new Lexus out here. It is nice. I don't care what they try to convince you of. Out here in West Hollywood, next to Beverly Hills, there ain't a fucking thing wrong with this place. Yeah, we have the same problems that some cities have. Like, we have homelessness, we have that, but we're addressing it. In fact, we kicked in a new tax for the wealthy to pay for the fucking homeless issue, like a normal state would. And they can say what they want about industries pulling out. We add as many industries as we lose. The only ones that do are ones that are voting politically. And it's idiots like Elon Musk, which that's fine. Go to Texas. When they run out of electricity and water, don't come crying back here. Because we know how to manage our fucking resources. You don't see anybody freezing to death here in California. You chuckle fucks. Like, how do you freeze to death in Texas, by the way, when it's hot 9 months out of the year? That's how stupid Republicans are in Texas. They took Texas off the national grid, and that's why people froze to death. You know, and here's another really important point. When they talk about sending in the military to certain states in the District of Columbia to curb violence, you know, the 5 most violent states in the United States are all fucking Republican red states. They're all shithole states. None of them are Democrat run, the most violent ones. Why isn't he sending the military into those states? I mean, Louisiana's murder rate is 4 times higher, 400% higher than California's. We don't need fucking troops in California, and we're going to push them the fuck out. Also, too, anybody that's in those military units, you swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. This is unconstitutional. You can conscientiously object. You don't have to deploy, and you shouldn't. Military should never be used against civilians in the United States. It's illegal, it's unconstitutional, and it's flat out wrong. And it is, you will be on the wrong end. And just following orders is not an excuse. We found that out in the Nuremberg trials. And when we have that second set of Nuremberg trials for this current regime in 2029 and beyond, the people that go along with this will be dealt with accordingly. Well, we'll leave it at that. And that includes people in the military that go along just following orders. You're a fucking coward if you deploy against the American people. Flat out fucking say that. You are a piece of shit if you go on maneuvers against the American people. It is the height of cowardice. And I'm going to say this as somebody that loves their country. If you're in the military, the most dangerous states, Louisiana is number 1. It is the most violent, which is where the Speaker of the House, the Republican masturbator himself, creepy ass fucking Mike Johnson, has to use his son as a masturbation accountability partner. His state's the most violent one. Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas is 4. Oklahoma is 5.
Yeah,
Montana, Alabama, Florida, Missouri, and Tennessee are the top 10 most dangerous states. The safest states: Vermont, Democrat; New Hampshire, Democrat; Maine, Democrat; Massachusetts, Democrat. Utah is the only one that's in the top five. And that's because it's a Mormon stronghold and everybody's afraid of the Mormon mafia. So, hell, they even have their liquors even watered down there. There is no partying in Mormon land. They've got everybody cucked there. Uh, Hawaii, Connecticut, Minnesota, Rhode Island, all Democrat. Wyoming, well, there's nobody in Wyoming. You know, what are they going to have violence against sheep or something? Like, I mean, the only people that are going to get violated are who's your daddy, you know, and all that. Where men are men and the sheep are nervous. The same way with the most safest cities and the most dangerous cities. Almost every dangerous city is a Republican-run city. All of the safest cities are almost all Democrat. It's a proven fact. They're incompetent. You're an incompetent party. Republican Nazis are tragically, and we can go down the list, and this has always been common knowledge, and so I don't know why the fuck we keep electing Republicans on any fucking level. If they're incompetent, too incompetent to run a fucking city or a state, why the fuck do we keep electing national Republicans? Incompetence breeds incompetence. These fucks from these cities and states that are getting put into the White House are the same incompetent fucks that they're fucking making the most dangerous fucking cities and states. Do you not realize who he's drawing his talent from? Is these same people that roach these fucking states and cities? Like South Dakota, shithole. Louisiana, shithole. These shithole states are sending their best and brightest straight from the trailer parks. But pretty much every state that's a butthole state is a Republican-run state. North Carolina is collapsing by the day. The handwriting was on the wall. They've ruined the school systems in North Carolina,
which used to be the standard.
Yeah. And now it's a joke. It's a laughing stock of the United States. It's right there with Mississippi and Texas. There's people taking teaching jobs in Texas over North Carolina. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's fucking insane. Well, they'll find out Texas isn't so hot either, but at least, you know, if they get a coastal job, maybe they'll get to live somewhere cool. But Texas is a mess. But if you're fleeing from North Carolina to Texas, you've made some career errors for sure. Let me just tell you. And to be really clear, North Carolina is in trouble. North Carolina is where Texas and Florida were a decade or 2 decades ago. North Carolina Democrats have a clear choice: defend the people or get out of politics, which is basically what Texas Democrats and Florida Democrats have done. They've just fucking quit. Since the hanging chads in Florida in 2000, and since George W. Bush walloped Ma Richards in 1994, Democrats in those respective states have pretty much quit. And now they maybe run the local politics in some big cities in those states, kinda. That's about it. Democrats on a state and federal level don't do shit in those states now. And it shows. You got Governor Dick Suckis, which we'll get into, is painting over fucking rainbow crosswalks because, you know, that's the most important thing Florida fucking needs. You know, we won't worry about the Nazi concentration camps that you have in Alligator Alcatraz, which also the indigenous people kind of showed them. is they ran them off that land. Alligator Alcatraz is closing for several reasons. One, because it's flooding and it has some issues. But two, the indigenous tribes evicted Alligator Alcatraz and now tell their story. Well, you built it on our land. You got to go. But the Governor Dixakis, Governor Sissy Boots in Florida, is instructing his Department of Transportation to paint over all rainbow crosswalks in the state of Florida because they're traffic hazards, even though there's no proof. Just like it's dangerous for women and children to be in bathrooms with trans women, which is also a lie. There's no proven state deal. There's a big old rainbow crosswalks here in West Hollywood. I haven't seen one fucking accident. I mean, unless somebody was skipping along, they're gay all the way across the rainbow deal and they trip and fall on their way to the glory hole. But other than that, there is no, when you pull up to the rainbow crosswalk, which I have very many times because it's right on Santa Monica and San Vicente. Huge rainbow crosswalk. It's massive. You can't miss it. You can't really see it when you're in the car. I can just tell you. When you pull up to it, it's not as noticeable as when you're walking across it. Hence, the crosswalk. It's for pedestrians. And it looks real pretty. If you're sitting at a restaurant, which we do go to a place here in West Hollywood called Rocco's, which is right at San Vicente, and you can plainly see the rainbow crosswalk. And it's beautiful. It's nice to look at. It's nice to watch. Young little male gay joggers jogging across it. It's a catbird seat. You would love it, Christian. But in California, definitely is not going to paint over any crosswalks, and we don't. The federal government ain't going to threaten us taking away our money because we'll just say, okay, well, we'll just hang on to ours, and we won't forward any dime of any federal money whatsoever. That's why they're not threatening California. They can't. We're a giver state, and Florida's a taker state. So the problem is we don't have to comply. They have no hold over us. That's why they're backing down on so many things in the state. That's why there's less and less people getting rounded up here. That is why we have fought tooth and nail, literally. When I say literally, we've been in physical battles with these fucks now. We are making it rain on these fuckers, trying to get a night's sleep in hotels. We're making sure in every way, shape, or form it's miserable as hell for all these ICE Nazis. And we'll continue to do so. It's not going to be fun. We have no intention of making it easy here in California. I promise. We're not going to go along to get along. And we're up against our last break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck. Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Two Queers in a Truck. And we do broadcast on YouTube and Facebook in a video version. And we're also on all the audio platforms out there. So your favorite way to listen to your podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years, and we appreciate y'all listening. We know you have a ton of choices, even though we may be the best choice. We always appreciate our listeners, and we'll try to bring you quality in the future. Thanks for listening. As always, Christian and Jenny, we're out. Thank y'all. Hey y'all, this is Jenny with Two Queers in a Truck, and Christian's along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season. And super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it. And we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. And I will tell you, we just don't take any crap. But yeah, indigenous people in Florida, and I'm sorry I can't remember the nation, but they repoed the land back from alligator Alcatraz supposedly, and they're going to have to shut down alligator Alcatraz. They're just going to move it somewhere else, and it's not going to change too much. I just do think it's funny. A lot of things Democrats are doing right now is too little, too late. But we've got to stop somewhere. We've got to hold the line somewhere. And we've got to make a mental decision. And these are all mental wins. These are not what Governor Newsom, for the most part, is doing, isn't going to, it's not going to have a direct effect right now. It's kind of like a savings account. We're putting away $5 a month away in a savings account that'll add up down the road. Because we got to turn the tide somewhere. Just like when Trump started going after Obama in 2008, 2009, and questioning Obama's citizenship and legitimacy, it set the stage for him to go after Democrats in 2016. He spent 8 years grooming people to get ready for him to go on the offensive in 2016 and beyond. And he knew he had a long hill to climb. But the unthinkable one, a black man won the presidency in the United States, which shouldn't have happened. It should have been impossible, but it happened. One, because he was running against McCain, and McCain had no chance of being president. And two, McCain picked the governor of Alaska as his running bait, the original fun bags, which between that senile McCain, a war hero, and fun bags going up against a Harvard-educated, Obama with Biden as a long-standing senator, they didn't have a chance in hell. And that's the only reason a black man won, because there was no way a black man should have won the presidency of the United States. And I'm not saying it is a bad thing. It's just that it was, you can look at it many ways, but it was an upset. That Obama in back-to-back elections defeated white men with good standing in this country. Like, they weren't Trumpsters. He beat two elder statesmen of Republican politics. It's not like he beat two flyweights. McCain was arguably probably one of the Republicans' most legitimate candidates in a long time, and then the Mormon after that, with a spotless record. They both had really good records. Like, he beat two really competent Republicans, which is hard to say anymore. It's hard to remember when Republicans were even mildly responsible. Those days are long gone. There's nothing left of the Republican Party, what shreds of dignity they had. George W. Bush took out a lot of that dignity. Trump finished it off. The Trump era of the Nazi Republican Party has destroyed what tiny vestiges, and there wasn't much in the Republican Party that was decent since Nixon, but whatever was left has been flushed down the toilet with this crew. This crew is the trailer trash. In American history, they are the trashiest of the trash. And it shows. It is brutal. It is. You look at the bottom feeders, Mike Johnson, that is a scumbag, the weirdo, Bobo Barber, MTG. You look at Nancy Mace. I mean, you go on and on. My God. So with South Carolina, the kind of people you're sending to Washington is unreal. Nancy Mace, Lindsey Graham, really? That's the best you can do? In the closet, bearded up Tim Scott? And he's so delusional that he thought that he could be the running mate last year if he just got married and looked like he was less gay. I'm like, dude, the gayness is not what kept you from, because J.D. Vance, obviously. Come on.
That's right.
J.D. Vance grew that beard so he would look less gay.
Yep.
Because him clean shaven, he looks.
With his eyeliner and
Yeah, his guy liner and his baby face, he looks like he should be in the next Pride Parade. He grew this beard to literally be a beard
be a
for
beard.
himself. Let's just talk about J.D. Vance, for example. He's way gayer than Tim Scott and is married in theory to a woman. Old couch fucker himself. But he'd just as soon be using baby oil on Satan's asshole than probably sleeping with a woman. You know, which there's nothing wrong with being queer. I'm queer. There's two queers in a truck. But let's be real. I'm not hiding it. Unlike J.D. Vance, Tim Scott, and Lindsey Graham. And there's no way Lindsey Graham on any scale. I've seen some people fake straightness. But Lindsey Graham, come on. You talk about a big old queen. And these Republicans, look at the lineup. You go down the list, Governor Dixakis in Florida, Hot Wheels Abbott. They're all tragedies. And not like a great tragedy and a good play. Like, they're just tragedies. They're fucking trailer fires. They're not even dumpster fires. They're trailer park fires where their meth labs are blowing up. These people are fucking Breaking Bad, but not the good edition. These are Breaking Stupid. The Republican Party literally has the dumbest people in charge. And we haven't even gotten into Dear Leader. My God, this guy talks like a they taught a baboon to read. Like he talks like a knuckle dragger. It's like somebody flipped a third grader $100 bill to write speeches for this guy and do tweets for him. It's worse than schoolyard shit, but at least with a third grader, it's believable because they're in the third grade and they're still learning about life. This guy's an 80-year-old invalid, fat sacks of cheeseburgers, who's got the sex appeal of a steaming pile of bullshit. And is built like a sack of mashed potatoes. Not even regular uncooked potatoes, mashed potatoes. Oozing and seeping out of the bag. With enough artery clogging butter to fucking give you a coronary just looking at it. And what's even crazier, and there's been several Instagram accounts that are now outing all the child groomers. Because it's all bubbling to the top. People are full out going to full frontal. I wish they'd have done it last year, and I wish they'd done it the last couple years, instead of letting trans people take the fall for everything. But people are finally getting aggressive about painting in a picture who the groomers really are. This guy named Stephen Thomas Ferreira, a member of the Nationalist Social Club 131, also known as NSC 131, known for disrupting child's drag queen story hours, was charged with possessing child pornography. And the list goes on and on. Charleston, South Carolina, Marvin Humbert has been arrested for possession and distribution of child sex abuse images. And this guy's gone on a rant about how great Reagan and MAGA is and blah, blah, blah. And it's all over his social media. And Marvin Humbert's got a face for radio. His looks like somebody put a fire out with a rake on his friggin' face. But all these pedos, and clearly Trump is on that list, the Epstein list. He's done everything he can. I want to address that real quick. He's on the list. He's doing everything he can to distract from that and keep his cash cow going. But y'all, every time that he rants and raves, remember, he's on the list. Don't y'all forget it. Biden isn't. Obama isn't. Don't know about Clinton. I don't care. Bill Clinton wasn't president since 2001. If he is, great. Prosecute him too. I don't care if any Democrats are on the list. Here's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. No matter who's on that list, burn them all. Let them all. Let the chips fall where they may. But let's get that list out there. The public deserves to know if our current president of the United States is on this list of child trafficking. We've been kept in the dark long enough. We all know he's on the list. Everybody knows he's on the list. He's going to great lengths to not make sure this thing isn't going to go public, including breaking laws to keep it buried. That's all we have for this September 10th edition of Two Queers and Truck, and we will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. Hey, y'all, thanks for watching Two Queers and a Truck. And as always, it's middle of September. It is my birthday month. In fact, it's next week. But anyway, another year older. I don't know about another year wiser. But anyway, enjoy life in Hollywood, and hope you guys are having a great fall too. And we're in the pumpkin spice season as well. So, get your Halloween costumes ready.
Yeah. It's your favorite time of year.
Yeah, this is actually literally my favorite time of the year. I love September and October for a lot of reasons. And get to be in Hollywood for Halloween this year.
Oh, yeah.
Special parties. But anyway, y'all be safe out there, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.